So now we are going to go over component props or properties in the example project that we've been working on from Create React App. We have our main app called app, and then we have our child component called child component. So we started off by displaying a simple page that says, "Hello there, Alex." So now we want to be able to use props to make this work. So we're going to change the construction of this slightly. So now we have our child, and we have to start off by making a constructor for our class. And that is going to take one parameter, and we're going to call that props for properties. And then we have to have a call to our super or parent class that also passes props. Div. So now we have nothing in our div that we're returning. So now we are going to return something in our div, and we're going to say hello. Let's see, I'm going to do this all as JavaScript. This dot props, and then we're going to say that our property is going, or prop is going to be called name. So now we have everything in place in our child component. Now we just have to change how our app calls this component. So let's see what happens now. So now we have undefined because we haven't told our component, our app, to pass in a variable called name into our child component. So now I'm in child component, and now I need to say that we have a property with the name of name. And we do that by just specifying an HTML attribute. And we're going to say Connor. Is that how you spell your name? Alright. Now let's look and see what happens. Hello, Connor. So, and then we could just keep doing this over and over. Oh. Now we're just going to start greeting people. Something that I forgot to do was go over arrays of components on the board, so I'll just go over that here. So here I'm listing 3 different elements. And React is smart enough to look at an array and see that it has components inside of it. So before my return, my render, I'm going to create a new array. And then we're going to say people components dot push, and I'm going to do this. Now inside of my JSX in my header, I'm just going to say, oh, that's interesting. I'm just going to pass in a JavaScript object for people components. And now it rendered that array of items as 4 separate components in our code. Let's really quickly look at the React view in Chrome and just see how that rendered it. So here it shows as 4 separate child components. Oh, yeah. And then if you look at the props, something nice about the React view is that it will show your props and your state for each component as you click. So see, I've clicked on this one and there's the prop that was passed in. So it's really good for debugging on the fly, especially as you're manipulating state and props on the fly. And now I'm just going to go over utilizing properties inside of a user-defined method. So we're going to go to app.js again, sorry, child component.js, and I'm going to create a new function called greet. And it's going to just return a string. Should have just copied and pasted that. And now we are going to say that we're going to return the greet method in here. Based off of past experience and what the documentation said, I don't think this should have worked.
I think it's because you have this dot greet. On the board, didn't you just have greet in the return? Nope, I'm not picking that up. Since you had this dot greet, I think it went around that error.
Let's see. Start this again. Greet is not defined. Okay. So let's change it back to this dot greet. Okay. Well, the proper way of doing this that won't bite you down the road is we're going to say this dot greet equals this dot greet dot bind, and then we're going to pass in this so that this has access to everything including state. And maybe I was incorrect about this, maybe it's just state that needs that in order for it to work, but we're going to go ahead and always bind this to our functions. I will double check that for class on Wednesday. Keeping in mind I write automated tests for a living, not UIs. So that concludes this here. Are there any questions?